Hey there, and welcome back to Storytime. Now that we know a little bit more about the Kingdom Hearts universe, we can finally get into the story. Now, all the games in the series so far are part of what's known as the Dark Seeker Saga. Even though he doesn't appear in every game, everything that happens is driven by a man named Xehanort. So we begin with his journey. Xehanort was born in a world called the Destiny Islands. Now, from the name, you wouldn't really expect anything important to happen there, but as it turns out, this is where our tale begins. Xehanort is a young man who lives on this island. He's charming, inquisitive, and quite frankly brilliant. By nature, he's the sort of person who doesn't take anything at face value. He has to see everything for himself, and he always leaves room for other options. One day, a hooded figure comes to him on the beach and offers to take him on a journey. Now this is maybe the one time where I'm going to skip over something, because it really will make more sense if we discuss it later. All you need to know is this. The hooded figure takes Xehanort on a journey into the future, and there he learns about all the different kinds of things he's going to do as an adult. However, upon being sent back to his own time, he forgets everything that happened. All he's left with is his feeling in the back of his head, like he's supposed to leave the island, that there are other worlds out there and he needs to go explore them. Now eventually, somehow, he's able to do this, and he finds a world named the Land of Departure, another place with an innocuous name that probably doesn't mean anything. This world sits between the realms of light and darkness, and it's there that he meets the wielders of the Keyblade. After the Keyblade War, some of those who still had their Keyblades decided to use them to protect the light, and to make sure that the worlds were all safe and that the Keyblade War didn't restart. Xehanort joins them and meets his new best friend, Ericus. Now, Ericus is being trained to take over the Land of Departure. Xehanort becomes a seeker, someone who goes around the worlds and finds out more about them, although he's never to interfere with them directly. To get around the worlds, the Keyblade wielders use the Corridors of Darkness, donning special armor that keeps the darkness from overtaking them. But as he goes from world to world, Xehanort begins to feel that the way that they're operating is simplistic. He finds himself disliking the idea that light should always triumph over darkness. He feels that light and dark should be in balance, that they should coexist together, and that by always pushing the power of light, the keybearers are actually destroying the balance of the world. Instead of fearing and avoiding the darkness, Xehanort decides to try to interact with it, to understand it, to use it. He stops wearing his armor in the Corridor of Darkness, and begins to learn how to use it to his advantage. This does not fly well with his boy Ericus, however, and the two have a falling out. In Xehanort's own words, "My brother pupil Ericus thinks only in absolutes. He has persuaded himself that light is the only way, but forgets that light cannot coexist without shadow. I believe a balance of light and darkness is what sustains our world, but too much of the darkness has been stamped out, disrupting the balance. Someone must tear down this tyranny of light and reorganize the world around the darkness which then creeps back in." And so Xehanort splits from the other keybearers, deciding that he's going to encourage darkness with the hope of bringing a balance to the worlds. He travels to more and more worlds, gaining as much knowledge as he can, and eventually he learns of the existence of Kingdom Hearts. Using Kingdom Hearts' power, he could create a new world, one that combines light and darkness. And so he begins to plan how he can access Kingdom Hearts. However, there's one big issue. Xehanort is getting older. To accomplish all his goals, he's going to need more time and a stronger body. His solution is to find an apprentice with a strong body and a strong heart. He could then use his Keyblade to extract his own heart and put it into his apprentice, giving him a new body. Eventually, he does find an apprentice, a boy named Ventus. Ventus is an earnest boy with a strong heart, and he begins to train under Master Xehanort. Unfortunately, Xehanort finds Ventus weak, lacking in the strength that he'll need. But if there's one thing to know about Xehanort, it's that he always has a backup plan. He's already thought of several different ways to open Kingdom Hearts, and one of them he realizes Ventus will be able to help him with. If a heart of pure darkness clashes with a heart of pure light, the Keyblade will be recreated, and with it, Xehanort could open Kingdom Hearts. So his plan is to extract the darkness from Ventus's heart, making one being of pure darkness and leaving Ven with a pure heart of light. Xehanort goes through with this, and is able to extract the darkness from Ventus's heart, creating a faceless being he names Vanitas. But for Ventus, the strain is too much, and he falls into a deep sleep. Xehanort realizes he's not going to survive. Though he just chalks it up to being a failed experiment, he gets a sudden, uncharacteristic jolt of sympathy. He decides that if Ven is going to die, he might as well die somewhere nice, so he brings him back to his home, the Destiny Islands. He leaves his apprentice on the beach and begins to walk away. Unbeknownst to him, though, a baby has just been born elsewhere on the island. This newborn heart, filled with kindness, sees Ventus's heart off in the distance. Reaching out, the newborn heart offers to connect with Ven's, repairing the damage and making him whole again. Ventus agrees, and in the real world he lifts up his Keyblade and shoots a beam of light into the air, letting Xehanort know that he's alive. As for the newborn heart, he would never really know what he did. The incredible act of kindness that had transcended thought and saved a life. That newborn's name was Sora.